You are asleep, completely unconscious, drooling on your pillow, zero awareness of the world around you. You are, by every biological definition, utterly helpless. Now imagine you're not in your cozy bedroom. You're lying in a tent in the middle of a pitch-black wild forest. A paper-thin piece of nylon, embarrassingly fragile, is the only thing separating you from predators that could end your life in seconds. Lions, bears, wolves, leopards, apex hunters with ears that hear your breathing from across a clearing, noses that smell your heartbeat from a mile away, and eyes that see through the dark like daylight. Meanwhile, you are just lying there in the dark, eyes closed, completely defenseless. And yet, every single morning, you wake up alive. Think about this for a second. A sleeping human is just meat, slow meat, quiet meat, meat that can't run, can't fight back, and won't even realize what hit it. Logically, wild predators should view campsites like an all-you-can-eat midnight buffet, but they don't. In fact, they almost never do. Why? It's not just luck. It's an ancient, unwritten pact between humans and the wild, a truce forged over 2 million years of blood, fire, and evolutionary terror. Let's start with a fact that sounds like an ego trip, but is actually pure biology. To the wild world, you are terrifying. You might not feel terrifying. You don't have razor-sharp claws, you can't sprint 40 miles an hour, and you can barely see in the dark. On paper, humans look like evolutionary pushovers. But to large predators, humans are the ultimate nightmare. In 2019, researchers at UC Santa Cruz conducted a landmark study in the California mountains. They placed hidden speakers near wild pumas, formidable apex predators capable of snapping a deer's spine in one leap. When pumas approached, scientists played recordings of normal human voices, just people talking calmly. The result? The pumas panicked and bolted. They fled faster from human speech than from the sound of barking hunting dogs. Even wilder, when pumas heard human voices while eating a fresh kill, they abandoned their meal entirely and fled into the dark. In ecological terms, abandoning a fresh kill is a massive cost. A predator walking away from food is burning calories for nothing. Yet these lethal carnivores decided that staying anywhere near a human voice was far too dangerous to risk. This isn't just about California pumas. Across the globe, lions in Africa's Kruger National Park give wide berths to human tracks. Tigers in India alter their hunting routes to avoid human villages. Jaguars in the Amazon actively reroute their nocturnal patrols if they smell a human footprint. These apex killers aren't weak. They've simply inherited a deep genetic terror of our species. And that brings us to a brutal truth of natural history. We didn't just adapt to predators. We systematically hunted them into genetic submission. For nearly 2 million years, early human ancestors were relentless, cooperative hunters. When Homo sapiens and our hominid cousins expanded across the planet, we altered the entire biosphere. We hunted woolly mammoths into extinction. We wiped out giant ground sloths, saber-toothed cats, and cave bears. In North America, early hunters eradicated massive predator populations across entire continents. For hundreds of thousands of years, any predator bold enough to attack human camps was hunted down and slaughtered by coordinated groups of hairless apes throwing spears. The aggressive predators died out. The cautious ones, the predators that smelled a hominid and ran, survived to pass down their instincts. Over thousands of generations, that caution became hardwired into predator DNA. Today, when a leopard catches your scent in the dark, it doesn't consciously think about history. An ancient evolutionary alarm bell rings in its nervous system. Do not touch that creature. Speaking of scent, let me ask you, how do you think you smell to the wild? To an animal with a nose 10,000 times more sensitive than yours, a human campsite is a sensory biohazard. Bears can smell food from 20 miles away. Wolves can track scent trails across miles of frozen terrain. Big cats possess a specialized organ in the roof of their mouth called the Jacobson's organ, allowing them to literally taste chemical signatures in the air. When a wild predator approaches your tent, it encounters a baffling cocktail of bizarre scents. Synthetic nylon, polyester, manufactured soap, deodorant, toothpaste, cooked artificial food, and bug spray. To a predator, hunting is a hyper-specific biological trigger. A wolf's hunting instinct is triggered by the scent and movement of ungulates like deer and elk. A lion's attack sequence is calibrated for wildebeests and zebras. You don't fit any predator's biological prey template. You smell wrong, you look wrong, and in the wild, anything abnormal represents a potential trap or threat. Then there is the ultimate weapon our ancestors mastered over 1 million years ago: fire. Fire is one of the very few stimuli on Earth that triggers a universal, instinctual fear in almost all land animals. It isn't learned through experience, it is hardwired into animal DNA. Wild animals that didn't fear fire perished in wildfires. The survivors passed on an innate panic response to smoke and bright flames. When early humans tamed fire, we did more than cook meat and stay warm. We built a glowing, impenetrable defensive wall around our sleeping camps. For over 1 million nights, predators looked at the flickering orange light of human fires and associated it with burning heat, pain, and death. Even today, when you light a campfire or burn a lantern outside your tent, you are activating a million-year-old warning sign encoded into every predator's brain. Danger. Fire master hominids inside. There is another key reason predators avoid us. In the wild, there are no emergency rooms or veterinary clinics. Wildlife documentaries often portray apex predators as fearless killers, but real predators are obsessively risk-averse. A wild predator cannot afford a single serious injury. A broken leg, a torn muscle, an infected puncture wound, or a damaged eye is a guaranteed death sentence by slow starvation. Every time a predator decides to hunt, it performs a strict risk-reward calculation. Is this meal worth the risk of getting hurt? A sleeping human fails that calculation completely. First, humans walk upright on 2 legs. In the animal kingdom, bipedalism is an aggressive threat display. Gorillas stand on 2 legs to intimidate rivals. Bears rear up on 2 legs when preparing to attack. To a predator, a bipedal creature looks unnaturally tall and assertive. Second, humans are completely unpredictable. A deer will run in a predictable pattern. A human might wake up, scream, hurl a burning log, wave a sharp metal stick, or call 5 other humans out of neighboring tents. To a predator trying to minimize risk, an unfamiliar, upright, unpredictable creature is simply not worth the gamble when there are easy deer nearby. But wait, you might ask, what if a predator sneaks up while I'm fast asleep? Here is where human biology reveals another incredible evolutionary trick. Your sleep isn't actually as unconscious as you think. Humans sleep in distinct cycles, shifting between deep, slow-wave sleep and lighter REM phases. During light sleep, your brain operates what neuroscientists call the Sentinel function of sleep. Even while you rest, your brain actively filters background sounds, smells, and micro-vibrations. If a familiar breeze rustles leaves, your brain ignores it. But if a heavy twig snaps 5 meters away, or an unfamiliar scent enters your space, your brain triggers an immediate spike of adrenaline, snapping you awake in seconds. Our ancestral hominids who slept like heavy logs were eaten millions of years ago. The ancestors who survived were the light sleepers, the ones whose brains maintained a night watch sentinel system capable of waking them up instantly at the first sign of danger. Furthermore, humans rarely sleep alone. We are social apes. A predator knows that attacking one sleeping hominid risks waking the entire tribe. And a tribe of angry hominids with fire and spears is the most lethal force on the planet. Now, you might wonder, do predators ever attack sleeping humans? They do, but historically, human predator attacks only happen when the natural rules break down. Consider the famous Tsavo man-eaters of 1898, 2 lions in Kenya that killed dozens of railway workers. When scientists later examined their skulls, they discovered one lion had a severe dental infection and a shattered jaw tooth, making it impossible to hunt thick-skinned zebras or buffalo. Similarly, the Champawat tiger, responsible for over 400 human deaths in Nepal and India, had been shot in the mouth by a hunter, breaking 2 of its canine teeth. When predators attack humans, it is almost always because they are old, severely injured, starving due to habitat loss, or because humans have habituated them by leaving food out. When the ecosystem is healthy and predators are whole, they avoid humans at all costs. Ecologists at UC Santa Cruz noted that our terrifying presence creates what scientists call a land state of fear. Without firing a single shot, the mere presence of human scent and voices alters the behavior of entire ecosystems, keeping predators in check and cascading all the way down to plant life. So the next time you are lying inside a tent in the dark forest, listening to the mysterious rustles outside the nylon wall, don't panic. That quickening pulse in your chest is just an ancient biological reminder from your ancestors to stay alert. The creature creeping through the dark outside your tent isn't coming in. Deep in its evolutionary memory, it knows that inside that tent lies a hairless, fire-wielding, tool-using superpredator. And it knows better than to wake you up. If you enjoyed stepping back into evolutionary history with Paleo Paint, hit that like button, subscribe to our Stickman tribe, and leave a comment below. What prehistoric mystery should we explore next? Until next time, stay safe out there.